My name is Faazil Khan. I'm about a 6.35 rating wise. I've been playing for well over 10 years now.
Do you think the rating system's just fake? Like, is it actually worth anything? Like, I don't know.
I think like a lot of like U.S. squash and just in general, like the junior squash has kind of put a lot of value into the rating system. I think for everyone, it's just like a little bit easier to kind of like get an insight. Because I know like a lot of the times like players feel a little uncomfortable when they're playing someone new, so that like rating system kind of gives them a little something. But for me, like if I'm playing someone new, I prefer to just look at like the head-to-heads with like other players. I don't think like the rating system is like super accurate, because then you also have like inconsistencies between like junior squash and college squash, which is where like everyone is trying to go nowadays. But so I think there is some value to it, but I don't think you can like put all your chips into like the rating of someone. And I feel like just like the way the game is going, like with the physicality and the tactics and like technical things, I feel like a lot of like even just like the top 15 guys under 19, like it's anyone's game. It just really depends on like who's locked in for it.
Yep. To play on the biggest world stage for your country.
I mean, it was amazing. Like, it's such a great experience, like, really being able to, like, represent your country and kind of put that on your back. It's always, like, a great experience, and I'm, like, really honored and grateful to have that opportunity. But then again, it's also just, like, such an amazing experience, like, seeing so many countries and so many different players that you would normally never see just playing tournaments in your country or, like, in your region. So I always just find that super, super interesting. And then, like, you just get to see, like, just so much squash and really, like, kind of delve deep into, like, all of the different aspects of squash, because you'll see, like, the South Americans, like, altitude, like, there's so much, like, they're really fit. And then you see the Egyptians who are always just, like, chopping Nixon. So it's, like, and then you see English squash, which is just so, like, conventional, but, like, it works and it's so solid and firm. So it's, like, you really get to, like, kind of, it's like a buffet is how I like to think about it. You kind of just can, like, pick and choose what you like.
It was nice of you to not call squash boring, but I will. I'll say it boring. I'll say it. I'll say, what's it like playing team squash versus individual squash? I know you've played for Kent, which is one of the strongest teams that's been assembled probably ever. What was it like playing in really high stakes moments in a team format?
I think like a lot of people like undervalue team squash. I think it's so fun. It's like an incredible experience. Just because like not only do you put yourself on your own back, but you also put your entire team as well. And it's a little different because you're not just playing like obviously for yourself, but for everyone else, and you're in kind of like your team's like riding on you. But at the same time, I think there's also like a deeper like level of trust and like confidence that comes with it too, because you like your teammates trust you to like kind of pull through with the dub. And like I mean, I had like a great experience with like the team at Kent. Like, there's just so much camaraderie, and like the boys are great there. And that kind of like also just taught me like the team dynamics. Like my brother said as well, like I started off playing a lot of team sports as well, and I've always like enjoyed that like dynamic of it. And I think like team squash is just super, super fun because I get to play like that. You get that individual aspect that I love so much, but also you kind of have that like team environment and like culture as well.
Are you excited to be playing in the format? Do you even know what the format is? Like, what's your knowledge of the NSL? What are you fired up? Talk to us.
To me, this is a bad question. I'm not too familiar with the NSL, like the rules itself. But I honestly, I heard about it when it was like in the works, and then I saw a lot of like posts, like from yourself and Spencer, and just like everyone in general, like really hyping it up. And then I kind of like did like a little bit of research on it, obviously not too in depth, but. Like I just found the entire concept super interesting, and I love like the idea of a draft as well. I think like that's one of like the best aspects of NFL, like the NFL, the NHL. Like that's like one aspect that everyone kind of loves, like seeing like your favorite talents like get picked in the early like drafts and rounds. And like I think just adding that to the NSL is an amazing idea. Also just like the different style play with like the different roles that each player has, and then having like that team aspect where it's not just like the standard college squash, like one like you're playing your match and then it's like best of 5, and then first to like 3 wins the whole thing. I think like that kind of gets a little boring sometimes because there's also like so much just waiting in between, and that also like there's just a lot of pressure there. But I think like with the NSL, like having those like quick changes and like the quick shorter rallies and like having like a defender, an attacker, like someone that's all rounded, I think like that's just such a great idea and like really kind of captures like a lot of like what squash is in a way. So I think that's super interesting. I mean, I'm super excited for this, just like getting the opportunity to finally not play against, but play with like a lot of the top juniors, like from here, like from the region and from like across the country. So I think it's just going to be super great, and I'm super excited for it.
Who is one player that you want to play with in this junior all-star match, and why?
I would say a player I want to play with is Jack Elriani. I mean, he's such a solid player, really strong, had a great performance at the U.S. Junior Open this past weekend. I mean, I train here down at the Spectre Center, and he's also here, so a lot of the times we're just exchanging quick hellos, and we're running off to our own courts to train. So I think it'd be interesting to like get on court with him and like, you know, just practice and prepare for this, and you know, just have each other on the teams. Back when I was at Kent, the year that we won the national title, Jack was on the Haverford team. We played in the finals, so it'll be an interesting like full circle moment to go from there, like playing against each other in high school squash, to playing together on this NSL junior team.
Awesome. So I'll talk to the team makers and see what we can do about that.
Sounds
We'll
good.
see if we can get it in the books. Anyway, Faazil, thanks for talking to us. And,
Thank you.
We'll see you there for the Junior All-American match.
Yep, for sure.